Hi everybody, it's Dell.
And Jen.
And this is our very first Me and Uni podcast.
Yay!
Cheers.
Cheers!
Yay.
Got our tea.
This is a cilantro and dandelion blend, for those of you that would like to know.
Yay! Okay, so our first podcast episode, and we're here to tell you about our book. If you found this episode, you probably have purchased our book. Thank you. It's called Feminism, A Journey to Equality. And so we're going to start off by telling you about Me and Uni, what that name is about.
Yes. So when we were coming up with our logo or, our website title, we were playing around with a few ideas, but our mission was to basically convey building up an individual, how we can connect, and then the energy that surrounds us and the beauty that can come out of that. So affectionately, we call the universe, the energy that we feel is around us, we call the universe Uni, and because we're tight like that. So we just kind of said it randomly one day, and I think we kind of were like, that's embarrassing because it is an intimate saying that we have, but we felt like it's true, it's authentic, and really we believe in it. So you, me, and Uni.
Yep. Okay. So that's You, Me, and Uni. That's the story behind You, Me, and Uni. And the book. Okay, Feminism, A Journey to Equality. So that is a
If you haven't purchased it right now, you can get it at Amazon.com.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's a workbook, journal type of thing, and it's all about feminism, equality, finding who you are.
And the thought process behind building the book comes from, you'll read it in the intro in the book, but it comes from our upbringing. Anytime we went on vacation, or it was Saturday, or it was just, if we came together, we had goals, and we wanted to talk about those goals, write them down. We drew pictures that were inspirational or funny. I mean, it was like getting as many free things that we could at the hotel, like the little shower caps or things like that.
So, well, first of all, we're sisters. So, yeah, we grew up together, and I remember, when we went to Disneyland, and it was, scavenger hunt style. Take a picture with a bass player.
We were very obsessed with bands.
With bands, yeah. And, take a picture of someone in a red shirt. Just different things like that. But, that was our goal to, for the vacation.
Right, and the practice of writing it down was just no, we are doing this. It was our promise to each other,
We actually, couldn't not do it.
Right.
Once it was written down, it had to be checked off.
Yeah, so that was actually why we decided to write this book, because that did not stop at, when we lived together as children. It continued on in our individual lives. Every morning I still wake up and write a to-do list, whether it's grocery shopping or whether it's meditation or whatever it is. Appointments that I have, even if it's in my phone, I still write it down on my to-do list. And so we wanted a workbook that kind of shared that with our audience, with our friends, with our family, because a lot of you will reach your goal if you write it down. So that's kind of a little bit of background of why we constructed the book the way that we did. So our question today is, what is your, if you could only promote one exercise in the book, what would it be? I already know mine, so no pressure if you don't want to.
So this is it's kind of hard because obviously I love them all. We came up with them all, and they all, I don't know. So anyways, but the very first exercise is, as I see others, I see myself.
Good one.
It is. It's a good one. As I see others, I see myself. For me personally, that doesn't come naturally. I would naturally, I see others and that person is so strong, or, oh, they're so bold. How could they just stand up in the middle of a meeting and say that? Or, how is that person so confident right now? And, that doesn't come naturally to see myself as a strong, confident woman. But I am that.
And I don't want to interrupt you, but I imagine that in like the environment that you are in daily, like your workspace, and I imagine, like, I'm not in those kind of meetings, but like in that environment, I imagine that would be really difficult to like, intimidation, I'm sure, is real in that atmosphere.
Well, yeah, like you could look like an idiot, or you could be shut down, like any of those things. It's vulnerable, I guess. But to say, like, as I see others, I see myself, allowed me to kind of take it even farther. Like, as I see, I see like this person got promoted, well, that I can also do that. Like, I'm
gaining
just as
inspiration
qualified.
rather than discrediting yourself. Yeah,
exactly. So like I said, it doesn't come naturally for me, but when I do the exercise and when I think about it consciously, you can do it. I can do it.
I remember during the building process, you were, I don't know if you were adamant, but it was just like agreed that the first image would be of a man in a business suit.
Yeah.
And I definitely, I don't know that you were pushy about it.
Hold on, I know why. Okay, so when we read
you raised your hand.
Excuse me.
Jen.
Feminist Fight Club. Okay, so we read Feminist Fight Club, and one of the like chapters in that book is What Would Josh Do?
Oh yeah.
WWJD, right. What would Josh do? And there were like there's a couple examples where I was like, okay, I'm interviewing for this position. I'm about to negotiate my salary. What would Josh do? Mm-hmm. And Josh, like air quotes, Josh is a white man who's charismatic. He's bold. He's, an executive maybe. Or maybe he's your peer, but he is just much more sure of himself. So what did I do? I texted a couple of my coworkers who are men and said, hey, if you were going for, a salary negotiation, what would you ask for? Like, would you ask for the whole salami, or would you be like, would you hold back a little bit? How would you explain it? And it was just like simple, like, oh no, like I would just go like whole package. I would ask for exactly what I want. And they just kind of like gave me some advice. And so
I love that they were very forthcoming, because sometimes it would be like, why are you asking me? Or like, that competitive field.
And then, but I also explained myself. I was like, hey, like, thank you. Thanks for the advice. This is where I got it from. I was like, what would Josh do? You're my Josh right now. And so, yeah, I found that helpful. That was why I wanted, like, a man in the book. Like, that would be, it's kind of like setting the stage, like, who is your Josh?
Right. Nice.
Yeah, and thank you, Jessica Bennett, for the exercise. That was, like, so helpful.
Okay, so I already knew the answer to this because I came up with the question. But my favorites, or, like, if I had to promote only one of the journaling exercises, it would be to identify your roots. So I lost my mom when I was 14. And so we are stepsisters. I know you thought we were twins. But so my mom passed, and it was due to complications with diabetes. So she was sick since I was 5 years old. It was really sad to see her go through that and really just kind of decay and deteriorate. And when you lose your mom, in my research, I've discovered that you really actually lose a part of your body. I imagine it would be the same if you lost a child. And moms can be your anchor in your life. And in the book, I love that we put it so eloquently. I'm not even going to quote it, or do you have the...
yeah, hold on. For a
fact
direct
check.
Quote.
No, the intro. For Dell. Where Dell's energy...
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, enjoys living a life like a leaf in the wind. Wherever her creativity flows, Dell goes. So I have lived my life very much like I'm just going to feel it and wing it and move with it. But I still need that anchor. And unfortunately, it doesn't get to be my mom. So daily, I have to... one of my mantras is my feet are on the ground. I'm here. I'm present. I have to remind myself of my why, of my support group that makes up, for some reason, a lot of really strong women. I always say that it takes that much women to replace my mom, and it still hasn't happened. But I really appreciate my community that supports me and my roots. So that would be my favorite.
That's a really good exercise. Yeah.
So we realized that in the book, with the journaling exercises that are there, even a lot of the language that we ask you to repeat, the mantras, the affirmations, they're really vulnerable. And so I'm sure, as you can tell, like we're highly hydrated and like have all of these liquids because we're like severe cotton mouth and so nervous about doing this. Because putting yourself out there, your true self, knowing your true self and saying things that are true about yourself can be very vulnerable and scary. And that's exactly why we decided that our first podcast should be a video. Because if we're asking you to put yourself out there, we feel like we should do that. We do that in our daily lives, but we want this to be bigger than us or just our neighborhood or our community that we found. We're hoping to make a real impact. So that's why this is a video. The rest of them will just be audio. Thank goodness.
I know, right?
All sweaty. But we would like to talk a little bit about what you could expect from our podcast moving forward. We have our, I think it's Gain Inspiration, Give Inspiration page that's full of quotes from amazing, we believe, feminists in our world. And we also have our book recommendation page, our office space. So we are really passionate about reading other people's stories, other people's journeys, gaining inspiration from other people. And that can really come from the books that we read.
Yeah.
So, and this may be a little selfish too. So you'll also read that our book club boasts 2 members.
But our book club is also like well established. Okay, like we have been in an official book club for 6 years.
Our dad used to be in it, but we kicked him out.
He can't read
Actually,
fast
I think
enough.
he dropped down.
He was like, I don't know how you read so fast.
No. Anyway.
But like when we started the book club, it was right after I had Natalie. And I went back to work, and I would sit in the pumping room, like at work, in the little like dark room, like, and I would read my books, and we would like read our books, and we had like a little Facebook discussion, and it was like the rule was like no spoilers, but you could like tell like how you were feeling.
And we did our best to stay on the same page, which is why I think my dad like fell behind. Yeah, he likes to take naps if he's sitting anywhere. So,
right.
Yes. But we would love for, whether you want to be part of our book club or not, we would love to inspire you to pick up some books and also maybe books that you wouldn't necessarily pick up on your own, Yeah. Maybe we can offer you some insight to that, and we would love to hear from you as well.
Yeah. So part of what we'll be doing is book reviews. We have literally hundreds of books that we could review. And
should we say what our first one is going to be?
Yeah.
This has been our first book from day 1. And it is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Yes. We won't get into it now.
Yes.
Because that is it is a whole entire podcast. It literally was life-changing.
Yes.
And a lot of the books that we'll talk about were life-changing. Formative books.
Completely different than Big Magic.
Completely different.
Not necessarily self-help or anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of them are fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And a select few of them are self-help.
Yeah, for sure.
So we feel like we have a lot of books to do recommendations on.
And it'll just be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To have the conversation. And so I guess that wraps up.
I think that wraps it up. Yeah.
We did it.
Welcome. Yay, we did it.
Now we could die. No. Thank you so much. You, Me and Uni. Bye.